How's it going, people? Welcome back to AFTV and welcome back to another Box to Box. I've got my guy here with me today, Matisse.
Big up.
What you saying, G?
I'm good, man. Do you know what I mean? Lateness is greatness, gang in the building. Good to be on here. Good to be with you, obviously, Big Six. And yeah, I'm on enemy lines, wearing the shirt. I'm taking risks. I'm worried, but it is where it is. Do you know what I mean? You got to take these risks. No risk, no reward.
It's mad. We've got a couple of men circulating right there to snuff you after the video's done, but less said on that, the better. But people, this is Box to Box, but Matisse is a fellow Big Six member. If you haven't seen the Big Six show yet, make sure you check that out on my channel. I'll put a link in the description below, the Big Six show. Matisse's channel will be tagged as well, so if you want to go over there and see what Matisse is all about, make sure you guys do that. And you're here for one reason only, Matisse. We're playing this Sunday.
Yep.
What's your general feelings going into this game?
Do you know what? I have to be careful. I have to be very careful because I know what you guys are like. Do you know what I mean? You'll get all the confidence up. You know, you'll lose a couple games, and then as soon as you play us, you want to turn up. So the record against you guys in the last few games is something like 3 defeats in the last 3.
Yeah.
But I must say, in saying that, after seeing what I saw against Brentford and obviously a charged up Lukaku in his prime physical condition, and the way that your centre backs were moving with the front two against Brentford, I do think to myself, if Lukaku comes correct, and I hope he does on his debut, he's got a chip on his shoulder, he's got a lot to prove, then I do think that will be the edge. Because every time we used to do well against you guys, it was with a Drogba, with a Diego Costa. Yeah. Last few years, we kind of lost our way. We've gone with that smaller, maybe more cute striker. It hasn't really worked for us. Now we've got the bully back. I feel like that will hopefully be the edge. But I'm still trying to tread carefully because, do you know what I mean? You see this stadium last season for me? It was a problem. It was a problem. Lampard, less said about that, the better.
It was a problem for us fans too over at Arsenal. We've got our own problems over here, but like you said, against Chelsea, it was a good couple of days we've had last season. So looking at that Brentford game and Ivan Toney, it was a perfect example of what Lukaku will bring and more.
Yeah.
Is that why you're kind of looking at Lukaku as the one? What about Havertz? Havertz didn't start against Palace, did he? So
yeah, I mean, Havertz played 120 minutes against Villarreal in midweek, so he had to get that rest. He obviously missed the penalty as well, so he was looking very fatigued. But Lukaku, obviously, he's coming in, like I said, chip on his shoulder. He's going to run the channels. He's been speaking very well about himself. He's actually seems to be very self-confident, coming in peak physical condition. He says, if the manager needs me to hold up the wall, I'm going to hold up the wall. If he needs me to run the channels, I'm going to run the channels. We know he's a good finisher. His track record.
He's got something to prove.
Exactly. Man United fans be calling him, fat and whatnot. Do you know what I mean? At some point, it's gonna get under your skin. He said it in his own Q&A. He said it on the podcast as well online. So he's a very emotional guy, and he's going to come in fully charged. And I just think to myself, with Chelsea having that focal point, that was always Chelsea's biggest issue. Yeah. The conversion rate last season with our finishing was abysmal. We created the most chances in the Premier League with Tuchel since he arrived, but the conversion rate was awful. And you saw that in most of the games that we played. We had to rely on our defences like the foundation to build up from there. Now with that finisher up front, I'm hoping that's the final piece of the jigsaw to get Chelsea to be a more complete team. But we had a good game week 1 against Palace. We played very well. I was actually pleasantly surprised considering the midweek game. So I am looking forward to this. I think, this pitch is, the Emirates pitch, it can go one or two ways. Sometimes you come over here and you get, a great Arsenal performance like, your Ozils back in the day. And then sometimes you can come here and you can have a free-for-all. So
what's mad to me is Arsenal fans going into this game are not as focused on this game as I thought we would be. It's the first, Emirates game back from this whole COVID 18 months. It's Chelsea, it's a London derby. But tickets are yet to be sold out. There's a protest planned for prior to the game around Kroenke and some with Arteta and their due. We're not happy over here.
Don't get the game cancelled now.
Listen, if it needs to be cancelled, it'll get cancelled, fam.
You lot
are local. It's on your 20-minute drive back to where you are.
We want to play the game. Don't cancel it. Do everything you need to do.
We want to be in the game, my bro. Until we're in the game, I'm not sure about playing it. But that's what we are focused on at Arsenal. Like, the owner, the backlash from the Super League, where we are right now. 8th place finishes 2 years in a row, and then losing the opening game against Brentford. What's your thoughts on us? There's always a North London is red, London is red, Arsenal the biggest team in London.
Yeah.
But right now, I don't think there's an argument to be had regarding Arsenal and Chelsea and where the stature lies. But what's your opinion on Arsenal? What we can do, and are we doing the right thing going into the first home game of the season with that protest mentality?
I think you are. When you finish 8th consecutively back to back, you have to ask questions. Do you know what I mean? And for me, when you're coming into the season, you've got no Europe, which is astonishing still to this day. I can't believe it. And you know, a lot of people are saying the best we can hope for is potentially Europa League places if we play once a week and get some momentum going. I mean, it's a joke. You know, I remember this club, like, look who we're sitting, look at the people we're
Trust me.
do you know what I mean?
Trust me.
When I speak about Arsenal, I speak about Henry Black Gloves, I speak about Bergkamp, I speak about Invincibles, Vieira. Now, you know, and then even the Wenger era, you finish top 4 consistently, but at least you play good football.
Yeah.
Now you don't play good football and you're soft. So there's nothing to buy into. So for me, if it was me, I would be out here protesting every day that I could. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you can't stand for this any longer. It's a joke. The transfer business, I've always said from Arsenal, has been very fugazi. 1 minute you're signing Tierney and Gabriel, and I'm like, wow, good up and coming players.
Yeah.
You've got a leader there, fantastic. Then you're going buying Willian off us, giving him a 3-year contract, spending mad peas, giving him mad money. And I'm thinking to myself, and then a season later, he does exactly what we expect him to do, which is down tools, whip up stuff in the kitchen in the restaurant, spud it up with David Luiz, the agent on the phone, Oscar, can you come through? Coutinho, can you come through?
He spoke to Inter Miami this summer as well and priced them out of a move for him.
Exactly. So 1 minute you're doing what you need to do, which is, you know, build on probably potential of a young manager. It's very clear to me that Arteta seems to have this, you know, potential, you know, when you have, it's like work. You have a young manager and you don't want to be dethroned, so you're a little bit insecure. So anybody who rises up to you, a Guendouzi, a Saliba, you start getting rid of them. You want to make sure that you're authoritarian. Exactly, and I feel like that's what he's doing. He wants people to fall in line, which is understandable because he's a young manager. But then you need a young squad. Then you don't want, you know, Williams and David Luiz's, who've won everything. They've obviously Luiz has left, but they've won everything they need to win. Their motivation's not there, their heart's not there. And that's where you guys are fumbling the bag. So you just need to go with better structure, man.
So as we sit here right now, Odegaard seems to be coming over the line. Ramsdale, the rumours have picked up again. What do those 2 deals do for us?
Odegaard's an interesting one because he had a lot of potential at Real Madrid. He signed there very young. I still think, I don't know about, you know, mentality-wise, is he exactly what you need? I feel like your team lacks leaders. Tierney should have the armband.
That's one thing I like about Odegaard, leadership.
Does he have it? He's the captain for his country, isn't he?
Yeah, and put that aside for a sec, because a lot of people would use that, you know, he's the captain for his country, blindly saying he's a leader. But what I saw from him on the pitch for us, you know, is not only quality, that's one thing, but he'd instruct players, you know, he'd kind of motivate, he'd kind of pick the team up in the middle if need be. Not as much as we would have liked because we've still finished 8th. Yeah. But that's actually one thing that I'd give him definitely over a Maddison, his leadership qualities. Yeah. But what was you going to say? That we lack that in abundance, right?
Yeah, you had. Yeah. I mean, Tierney for me should be wearing the armband. I've said that 100%. So many times to you. You know, I mean, I feel like that's a serious error, lack of judgment in terms of who's actually leading this club forward. Odegaard's an interesting one. Obviously, when he played for Arsenal last season, I wasn't ridiculously impressed. I thought he was decent in spells, but again, is he going to be consistent? Does he still need to adjust? He's still very young as well. I feel like Ramsdale is just a joke. Yeah. You know what I mean? He didn't show nothing.
It feels like April.
Bro, you've gone from Martinez to Ramsdale, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that in itself, if that doesn't just sum up by definition what's happened to Arsenal, I don't know what does. You have a very promising, you know, physically imposing, cross-collecting goalkeeper at your disposal who loves the club, tearing up in FA Cup wins, and then you get rid, cool, decisions have to be made, maybe you believed in Leno, but then now we're at Ramsdale. How did we get here?
Yeah, 1, because of homegrown, and 2, because Leno doesn't seem to be as happy as we thought. But like you said a year ago, that's something that could have been ironed out anyway.
Yeah, go on the Football Manager list, type in unemployed, English, settings, just check them out, man.
Filter through one by one.
Don't spend money, just find whoever you can find and just keep it moving. You don't need to pay
There's
money.
another one I want to touch on. Jack has just got a new contract, but what I want to ask you is about last summer, Jorginho, he was under a lot of criticism. You know, he was even linked to us at one point.
Yes. Yeah.
A year later, there's talk of Ballon d'Or. He's won the Champions League. He's won the Euros. How did that change come about? Like, did you see it coming? Was there always a player there? Because with Xhaka at Arsenal, I see a lot of divided opinion. Either they love him or we hate him. It's one or the other. Yeah. With Jorginho, I felt like that was very much the same up until this last season, where it kind of changed and he kind of took on more of a
leadership role. Yeah. I've always backed Jorginho personally. I think when he came in under Sarri, he was kind of labelled as Sarri's son, used as the scapegoat when the match-going fans potentially didn't like Sarri's method of football. We're not used to it. Chelsea have predominantly been a pragmatic team, not a fancy, that's Arsenal.
Yeah.
We consider that to be Arsenal, play your fancy football, etc. And Sarri tried to come in, change the culture, maybe too quickly for some of the fans to really appreciate and understand. And Jorginho is a huge part of that. He's a system player. So he comes in, he tries to play his own, tiki-taka football, one touch, building out from the back. And people don't really like it because there's a few turnovers, there's a few goals conceded. But I've always backed him, I've always loved him. The leadership is there, the quality is there, very clear. You see it for Italy as well in the Euros. Ballon d'Or shouts are there as well. And he's a great player. So, but do I liken him to Xhaka? Not really, because I think Xhaka was brilliant for Switzerland over the Euros. But I think when he told the fans to F off, I'm not gonna do too much here, because you know what I mean, not my platform. But I feel like that's where the relationship's broken, and I don't really know if that can really be mended. Again, you give him a 4-year contract when he really did want to move to Roma. Screams a little bit of indecisiveness for me in terms of actually having players that are 100% head set on being here. I don't know Xhaka personally, how he feels about the club, whether he really wants to be here. But when you're linked with a move to Roma, and then you're slapping down a 4-year deal, there's some sort of confliction.
It's a bit mad, and he also said, Arsenal know what I want to do regarding that, which is insinuates, But it is what it is. What do you think the key battle is this weekend?
It's got to be Ben White versus Lukaku.
That's what was on my mind. First game against Brentford, I said Tony versus White would be the, one of the key battles, and Tony had his way with both of them. This one, Lukaku.
I think if we can learn something from Brentford is that if you go 2 up top and isolate the centre-backs and really pin people on them, maybe it's a Havertz and Lukaku, maybe a Werner and Lukaku, whatever, which way it may be, make sure you isolate them centre-backs and get people on them, make them have to defend individually 1v1. Obviously, people are saying Ben White going off for aerial challenges as well, looking a bit ropey. He's a good defender, good ball-playing centre-back. He's going to help you build up from the back. However, if you surround him with crap, it's a problem. And when you got Bellerin on one side and Marty from Madagascar on the other, and whatever's going on there, how is when was the last time a centre back came into Arsenal and they really elevated their game to the next level? Gabriel looks good. When he comes back, you'll be better. But you're hanging Ben White to dry, man. Honestly.
Yeah, like we've hung a lot of players, Pepe, Partey over the years. We've had good signings, but like you said, we couple good signings up with poor signings, and what happens is indecisiveness and a lack of progression.
Exactly.
I agree with you on the key battle there, 100%. I think Lukaku versus White is going to be an interesting one for us Arsenal fans to get to know Ben White a bit more. Yeah. On the flip side, on Arsenal's attack, do you fear anyone in particular?
I don't know what attack I'm getting. Do you know what I mean? It's like an attack with bullets. Sometimes they're firing, sometimes they're not. Aubameyang, Lacazette.
Apparently they're ruled out, but we don't even know the true reasoning for that.
You've got 2 guys that are meant to be in their prime, meant to be delivering, obviously captain,
meant to be leaders,
and they're not even in the team. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they've fallen out of Arteta, what have you not. Then to rely on Martinelli, they're very talented, but they're very young. And they're coming up against the defence that, again, as I said about earlier, are the foundation for our success, Champions League winning. So I expect our defence to handle your attack for once in the last few fixtures. But in terms of threats and worries, you have to look at your Saka and your Smith-Rowe, because they're the guys that are really carrying the team on their back when they go in terms of going forward. So
Is it Alonso or Chilwell on Sunday?
I think it could be Alonso. He obviously got the goal opening game week. Haven't seen too much of Chilwell in pre-season because obviously came back late with the England team as well. But I wouldn't be surprised if Chilwell comes in as well, because he obviously just has to get into this team at some point. I'm hoping whoever plays, they got their brain switched on. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes we can be a bit lackadaisy with Alonso, tracking back and the pace. He's not the quickest. But he's been playing well in pre-season. I have to give it to him.
Since Tuchel's come in, he's actually done pretty.
It's good against Villarreal, good against Palace. So whoever starts, I'll be fine with. We just need to just stay on our P's and Q's and don't switch off, and I think we'll be fine. But again, let's not see Arsenal do some madness now and come correct for once. I'm not trying to see that. Leave it till
it's
next
happened
week.
before. Let's see if it happens again. What's your prediction then?
I'm going to go with a 2-0 win. Yeah, I'm going to go 2-0 win for Chelsea. Yeah, I have to.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Confident you're not going to concede?
Yeah, I think the defence is the strength for us.
Is that more because you're confident in your defence or not confident in our attack?
A bit of both. I think Arteta's philosophy confuses me. I don't really know what his plan is going forward. I don't know if he's trying to be counter-attacking, attacking, defensive. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to read what you're doing going forward. I think our defence should be able to handle it. That is the strength of our team. So I'm gonna go 2-0. Yeah.
This is the time for my prediction. I hate predicting Arsenal games. I'm gonna be honest, because you know me, Matisse.
Head and heart, you want to do that?
I think my head and heart are shaking hands right now. I think they're shaking hands for once, saying, "Yep, we're at an agreement right now." Listen, with Brentford, I said 2-2, and I said that because I was sitting on the fence.
Yeah.
I knew it could go either way, and I thought it would probably go the way it did because of the lack of real progression in the transfer window. Now we play Chelsea with Lukaku's debut around the corner, a chip on his shoulder, something to prove. Saw what Tony done against us last time out.
Yeah.
It hurts. It hurts. I can't lie. 2-1 Chelsea.
Really?
2-1 Chelsea.
Oh, Turkish.
It's
Really?
mad. It's mad.
Mad.
I have to keep it real, bro.
Yeah,
like,
you
I
do keep it real.
can't
You're
blow
not even
smoke
gonna try
up,
and
you
do the
know.
optimism thing.
Yeah, I can't. And even me saying 1, that's what I'm more kind of thinking. Are we going to get 1 than I am thinking the L?
Yeah.
And like I said, it hurts me to say this, but I've got to keep it real with myself and with the viewers out there, you know. The likelihood of us getting a W over Chelsea this Sunday is low. We've done it before. We can do it again.
Yeah.
But, you know, 90 minutes, in my opinion, are not, you know, the problem at Arsenal Football Club right now is far greater than 90 minutes of football.
Yeah.
So as much as I predict an L, win, lose or draw, we're still in the same predicament following the game.
It's true. And it's a sad state of affairs. Obviously, rival, I can banter all day long, but keeping it a buck, it's kind of sad. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but on the big 6, Matisse and Tobes argue more for Arsenal than me, for example.
I don't know where the passion comes from, you know. I really don't, because I shouldn't care. But it's just like, again...
No, but you know what we should be.
I know what you should be.
And what we was.
Yeah. Obviously, this is cool for me. Like, I'm
Of
fine
course
with this.
it is.
But I know what you should actually be. And what you should be is at least top 4 contenders, man. Like, the fact that it's not even a conversation is crazy.
Yeah, the bare minimum should be top 4 contenders. But we move into Chelsea. Head's a bit low. Let's see what we do this Sunday, people. Like I said, subscribe to Big 6 in the description below. Subscribe to Matisse's channel. Get some more videos and content from him. Do you have anything else platform-wise?
Nah, just keep it YouTube, keep it simple. The rest of them, if you really want to dig deep, go for it. But
yeah, if you want to see him trolling on Twitter as well, you can add up his Twitter. But you know, we'll leave it for the YouTube for now, people. Hope you guys have enjoyed another Box to Box, Matisse.
Appreciate it, bro.
Come on, love as always. People, we'll be back again next week. Let's just hope for the best this Sunday. Love.